What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. You know, I heard about this very interesting story about a California mom in Northern California who faked her own kidnapping just to go and spend time with her ex-boyfriend. Now, the lady's name is Sherry Papini, and in November 2016, she failed to return home from a jog, and the disappearance set off a nationwide search. And she was found 3 weeks later. She had been beat up. She said that she had been abducted by two Hispanic women and brutally abused throughout her captivity. But I want you to look at this news clip, and it's quite interesting. Let's play that clip, and then after that, I'll come back and give my synopsis on the issue.
Well, new tonight, shocking developments in the Sherry Papini kidnapping investigation. She was reported missing in Redding back in November 2016. 3 weeks later, she was found beaten on the side of I-5 in Yolo County. But just hours ago, this story took a major turn. Papini is now behind bars tonight. ABC 10's Van Tu explains.
It seemed like the end of a living nightmare when Sherry Papini was found bound and bruised here on this rural woodland road on Thanksgiving Day in 2016 after weeks gone missing. But investigators now confirm that story was made up. Then 34 years old, Sherry Papini made national headlines when the missing mother, who sparked fervor at search parties, made a miraculous return, telling investigators she was kidnapped at gunpoint by two Mexican women.
Suspect number 2 was the older of the two suspects.
They branded her. So I just wanted to see her, so I just ran past everybody and I throw open the curtain, and she was there.
This was her husband, Keith Papini, overcome with emotion, breaking his silence to ABC's 2020 after his wife's sensational homecoming in 2016. But investigators now say she branded herself. The anguish his wife put him through, all a lie. 6 years later, Papini is under arrest Thursday for making false statements to federal agents and engaging in mail fraud. In August 2020, the Department of Justice says Papini was presented evidence that she was not abducted, instead staying with an ex-boyfriend. But she continued making false statements. They also say she was paid out by the California Victims' Compensation Board more than $30,000 over the course of 4 years. Current Shasta County Sheriff Michael Johnson said the arrest signaled a great day for the department, which was thrust into the national stage and subjected to harsh criticisms at the time. In a Facebook post saying Papini drained at least $150,000 and countless hours in resources. Adding, quote, "Not only did this charade take valuable resources away from real criminal investigative matters, but in a time where there is serious human trafficking cases with legitimate victims, Sherry Papini used this tragic societal phenomenon to gain notoriety and financial gain." Now, if convicted for lying to federal officers, Papini faces a maximum 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. And if convicted of mail fraud, that carries a sentence of 20 years and a fine of $250,000. Now, the Papinis have been out of the public eye for years.
As you can imagine, this arrest has shocked many people. Tonight, I spoke to the man who helped in the investigation.
The family, obviously, Keith Papini, his children, I feel that they are the true victims in this situation in terms of their mother, their wife, has not only gone missing, back in 2016 for upwards of 1 month, and their family feared the worst. But when she came back, and now that they know that this was a hoax, it has to be probably the most traumatizing thing that anyone could ever experience, and hopefully most people never experience.
Cody Saffin is a private investigator hired by the family when Papini disappeared. He says he was surprised by the news, but was more surprised when she turned up alive. He says that is when this part of the investigation ended.
So you heard what happened here. Now, she cost this particular police department here in Reading over $150,000. But what she didn't know is that when they looked at her clothes, they found both male and female DNA on her body. Now, this DNA led authorities to her ex-boyfriend, who she had been staying with during those disappearances. Now, he said that she was a good friend, contacted him out the blue, and said that she was being abused by her husband. Okay? She said that she had filed police reports, but authorities failed to do anything to stop the husband. So he was over there, booty clapping sounds. All right. Now, she denied these claims and continued to make false statements about her abduction. She also received $30,000 to the California Victim Compensation Board based on this lie. Now, I want to talk about this because many men go through these things, not at this level, but a lot of times you'll be out of contact with a woman for a long time, be years. Some woman hits you up and then she has a very sad story. She needs to stay with you. She needs to do this and that. And then all of a sudden, for you to believe it, there are lies based off of where she came from. And many times this happens with guys deal with women in relationships. You know, it's always, oh, he cheated on me. He did this to me. He did that to me. And you know, you're a guy, you know, you're feeling really bad for her. You're just like, wait a minute. That guy did this. He did what? I can't believe, how could he do this to a nice woman like you? And you might even want to confront the guy. And then you come to find out that it's a complete lie. And it's little lies. Like I know a situation where there's a particular guy I knew. He was dating a young lady. Little things. Lady said she was 25. Turned out to be 32. So she didn't have any kids. She had a kid or two already. And then after that, you want to cry and say how sorry you are. But you're not looking at the pain and impact you're putting other people through. Like, look at this. Look at her husband. It's a guy. He thinks that you're possibly dead. Okay. You have 2 children. You've lied on the man. You said the man did all of these things against you. The man didn't do anything. And you wanted to, because you felt like that you wanted to go out there and thought it up and go and be with your ex-boyfriend. And a lot of guys are going through this on a small level. It happens more often than people want to realize and give credit for. It happens a lot, guys. There is a lot of this shit that goes on. And I want to tell guys, you know, a person like this is such of a big liar. They're dangerous, man. You know, what won't they say about you? What won't they do? Okay. Got to be careful, man. And there are so many guys that are actually in jail. What about Hispanic women that could be like, look, this suspect, she just blamed the whole race. You see a woman doing this all the time, you know, ending their kid's life since a black man abducted her. Sick people. All so that you can go out there and cheat. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe at the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.